We are back here. We're here with Jim. Jim is the co-founder at Legiit. He was here with us last week, and it was a great stream, so we decided to bring him back. His room has suddenly gotten very purple since we began. I don't know why that is, but that's maybe he's just trying to be on brand.
Clouds, unfortunately.
Oh, well, my reason was cooler, so you should have went with that. Why do you have a goat on your shirt is question number one.
It's the goat clothing brand. It's like a lacrosse-related clothing brand.
Yeah, all right. Oh, come on, MD. Don't be. We're not running this in 2019 when that was how we picked. The software pick a winner. Come on. All right. So last week, Jim, you talked about time management. I guess the question that I got from somebody afterwards was, like, obviously you balance it between your different businesses and your personal life and stuff, but do you use a particular type of like CRM or software or anything like that to calendar? Like, how do you like not how do you manage it as far as how do you figure it out, but literally how do you manage it?
Google Calendar is my go-to for that. For a couple reasons. One is it's super convenient and I have access to it in all different places. I can also share it with my family, coworkers. Everyone can kind of access and see openings. And I do try and be as diligent as possible about blocking out time for things. So I'll block out certain days of the week for quiet time. Like, hey, every Thursday from 10 o'clock till 2 o'clock, I have nothing going on. I can't block a meeting. I can't do anything else because I reserve that time to work on certain things. And it's really helpful for, let's say someone goes to the Calendly link to book a meeting. I know they're not going to interrupt that time, and I'll always have that time each week to get some things done. So
you use Calendly as well.
I use Calendly. Those two probably combined are really the most of it.
It's interesting to me that Google has not just crushed Calendly and made all of that functionality into their own thing. Like, it seems like such an obvious thing to do.
Yeah. There have been a few attempts at it for some reason, but I haven't seen anyone do it as well. Really, gain their market share.
No, me neither. It's to the point that it's synonymous with booking a meeting. Like, instead of saying a calendar link, most people say Calendly. So it just seems like something Google could add on to Google Calendar and just destroy them like overnight and just make it free. But I don't know. Although, to be fair, Google has a history of being terrible at stuff like that. So that might be the reason why. It's actually, there's a site, I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like Google Graveyard, I think it's called, and it has all their failed products, and it's just mind-boggling how many things they've tried that didn't work.
Yeah, there's a ton of things on there.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the only things that ever did work were like Google Drive, Gmail, and the search engine.
Yeah, YouTube, I imagine, would count.
Yeah, but they bought that. So,
yeah, there's a ton of dead projects.
Yeah. So what, now, since we're talking about calendars, what do you have on your calendar for September?
I have a wedding on September 21st. Looking forward to.
My condolences to whoever he is.
But the weekend before that, I'm actually going to be in your hometown, Myrtle Beach, for Legiit Live.
Oh, it's almost like I brought that up on purpose.
Weird.
Yeah. So let's maybe talk a little bit about that. Now, one of the reasons I had you talk about time management was because we generally did get some extra interest from it, but that's going to be one of the things that you speak on there, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And that's going to be September 13th, 14th, and 15th. So your wedding is like the 7th or something. So
I think the weekend after.
Okay. Terry says golf in Myrtle Beach. Yes, that's a good point. I don't golf. I've only been fun story actually. I've lived in the golf capital of the world for my entire life, and I've been golfing 2 times. And the last time was when I was 12, and I got a hole in one. I went with my then stepfather, and he never took me again because he's never had a hole in one in his life, and he was pissed. And that was the last time I've gone golfing. So, but yes, there's tons and tons of golfing here. Blair says, where are the VIP parties going to be? Blair is another South Carolina relative. What's the word I'm looking for? Native. And I don't have a good answer for you on that just yet. We're talking to a couple different places, but it'll be fun. That's a great question. And Jim is personally going to be handling all. No, I'm just kidding. So, I never noticed the dudes with pink hair here in the picture until now.
Got to keep it on brand,
Yeah, no, I think it's cool. I never noticed it until now. It shows how much attention I pay. Like I noticed someone speaking on stage in the background, but I never noticed that. But anyway, here's some more event details. There's us. You don't need to. I'm sure if you're here, I assume you already know who we are. And then we got some of our speakers as we finally got updated on what they do. Fun fact, Eldar here sent me so much that I had to cut his paragraphs in half because it was too long, basically. And then we got a great lineup, and I got another one or two that I'm going to be dropping on you for a surprise soon as well. So be on the lookout for that. Blair says, got my early bird. Awesome. I look good. Sorry, I was getting frustrated with, I have Outlook open and it always opens right in the bottom right-hand corner, right where I needed to click to bring this up, and it was irritating me. Blair says he got his early bird. Awesome. Congratulations, Blair. Look forward to seeing you. I've seen you at a few events now, and I look forward to seeing you again. And I still think you look like John Cena. I don't care what anybody says. So there's that. And that's a compliment, in my opinion, because most people can't even see him. But next, Anise says, look forward to your thoughts on local SEO opportunities, how freelancers cannot reach via email. Freelancers can now reach via email or via GBTP contact numbers. So you're asking how to get local SEO clients? Is that kind of the summation there? If so, then just let me know. But yeah, and then we are going to bring on some sponsors soon. I know that we got Eldar's Local Dominator, so he'll be one of our sponsors, and then we'll have, I don't want to give away some others, but and I guess we'll just talk about the price and what you get. We got the basic package, which is 2-day access to VIP, or no, wow, that was funny how I just blended 4 sentences together there. 2-day, this is kind of the event access. This is to get you in and get you to pretty much all of it. But then here you'll also get access to the VIP parties, which Blair is clearly looking forward to, as am I. I don't know if you've ever been to an event before, but that's where a lot of the best stuff happens, and a lot of the debauchery too. But if you're into that sort of thing, but that's really where the best part happens. That's where for example, last year I spoke in an event in November for OMG, and that's where we there was a bar get together afterwards, and we went to the bar, and 2 things I remember about that was, one is there was a SpaceX launch while I was there, so I literally got to see the rocket because it was in Cocoa Beach, Florida, which is not far from Space Center. So we got to see an actual SpaceX rocket launch. I thought that was really cool. That's something you couldn't have planned, right? It just happened. And then that's where I got to know Greg Jeffries, who was on the channel a few months ago as well. Mohammed says, I can model for you. I'm dark, tall, handsome young man. I am handsome, but not dark or tall, unfortunately. So that's why I don't do the modeling. Anyhow, you get lifetime access to the Legiit dashboard, which in my opinion is worth the price of admission alone. Preferred seating, which means you can sit wherever you want. And you'll get the recording of the event, which everybody else will have to pay for separately. And it'll be a great time. There's a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of networking. And I tried to keep the prices as reasonable as I can, at least for the early bird pricing. So it can be affordable because, it's just, I don't want to, how do I say this? I don't want to price people that could come out of it because of the price of the ticket. I don't need to make money off of this. I want to give value. I hate that expression because I think it gets abused by people that aren't actually giving value and are trying to sell you something, which I guess technically I am too. But I really wanted to do something that actually benefits people and doesn't make it too, I don't want it to be exclusive. I don't want it to be like the club where you have to be on the list kind of thing. So Jim, what do you find the value of events to be?
I think really more than the networking and what you can take away from it after that. So there's a lot of idea generation. There's a lot of momentum building. Even if it's the type of thing where maybe you don't need to learn something, but you go there and you get so ingrained in the environment for a couple of days, you really pick up a lot of momentum where you can go into the rest of the week and the rest of the next couple of months really hitting the ground running and get a lot of progress done. Sometimes it's nice just to refresh and get around some different mindsets.
Yeah. I've been to events that sucked, and I still felt more motivated coming back from them. Like I went to, I guess I can put them on blast. I went to a digital marketer event in, I think it's 2022, and it was basically a weekend long webinar to sell you an even more expensive program. But I still came back motivated and wanting to do, like, not that I'm not always motivated, but it came back wanting to do even more, Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's a lot. And that's been an event that sucked. Ours is going to be awesome because, first of all, it's in Myrtle Beach, which is a lot of fun. So I'm told. I've lived here my whole life. It's hard to see like the vacation stuff as anything other than just another shop, but it's a fun place to visit, and that I haven't moved, so it must not be that bad, right? The venue is very cool. It's Pine Lakes Country Club. Let me zoom in so you can see that even better. Matter of fact, you don't need to see our pretty faces right now. But it's one of the original golf courses in Myrtle Beach. It's got like a ballroom that's going to be in that window right next to the door there. It's really, really cool place. It's a lot of fun, and I have a personal connection to it too. That is one of the reasons we chose that over the other venues that we looked at. And I'm going to tell that story on day one because it's really impactful to have an event there because of that. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's really cool. And then the hotel that we got is about a 3-minute drive there, according to Google Maps. And it's really cool too. And by the way, you can get a discount if you go to, it's right here on the site at legitlive.com. If you go to it, it's Island Vista Resort. There's a link to book there. And then you can just use Legit Live and you'll get a special rate that we were able to negotiate with them. It's a really nice resort. It's really cool. I was adamant that we get a hotel that's right on the ocean because, what's the point? There's literally tens of thousands of hotels here. So I wanted to get a nice one and one right on the beach so people can go hang out on the beach and do whatever it is you do on the beach. Again, beach has been walking distance my whole life, so nothing special to me. But the beach is pretty awesome. And there's tons and tons of tour stuff to do here. We're going to have a page on the site very, very soon with some other things. So if you have the time, I suggest making a week out of it and just make it like a vacation on top of it. I know that's what I tend to do when I go to conferences. If it's somewhere cool, is spend some extra time because my philosophy is when you go somewhere, you never know if you're going to go there ever again. So you may as well get the most out of it while you're there. Maybe that's a little sappy, but I think that makes a lot of sense. A lot of my best tourist memories have been when I would go to conferences or to masterminds and I would stay extra days and just go check out the city. So I suggest you do that too. And if you need any advice, I can definitely tell you where some cool stuff is, and we'll have that on the site as well. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be, I'm really looking forward to it. Sometimes I can't believe this is my life because I remember do a little story time here. In 2001, I started working at Circuit City. I did an interview there and they asked me what department I wanted to work in. And I didn't really know, but I was like, well, I'm not very good with customers, so you better keep me away from them in the interview. And for some reason to this day, I don't understand why they didn't just say, all right, thank you for your time. Because that's absolutely what I would say if somebody said that to me. But they hired me to work in their warehouse. And I tell that story because I was being honest. Like I was so bad and so introverted and so bad with people that I just couldn't imagine having to deal with them all day. And now I'm like hosting an event for hundreds of people. So sometimes I can't believe the shift that's taken over the last 20 years. So there's that. But as far as the speakers go, let's talk about that a little bit. I got to zoom back out. I'll briefly just cover them. It tells you what they do. I need to update Navneet. He gave me a more in-depth one. But you got me. If you're here, you know who I am. Jim is also on the call right now. He's the co-founder and he owns many different types of businesses and has a wide variety of experience. And I'm so glad he finally got some updated pictures, because you were using the same ones for like 5 years, the first 5 years that I knew you.
Yes.
Gregory Ortiz, longtime SEO veteran. He hosted one of the events that I spoke at last year. Andrew, who runs our paid advertising at Legiit and was, we should show the commercial while we're on here, was responsible for the idea behind the commercial that we just launched. Eldar from Local Dominator and Local Wiz, Navneet, who's a hidden gem in the SEO industry. I did a podcast with him yesterday for his channel that will be out very soon. Brian Winham, who was on the channel maybe a month ago or so. He does some really cool stuff with Google stacking and Google News and things like that. Michael Marino, who's always a blast and is great with the Google Maps, GMB, whatever it's called this week. Terry, who's actually on the call right now, or was at least a few minutes ago. He's the one that's indirectly responsible for this, because he invited me to speak at my first event, and now we're here. And plus, he's the master at Schema, and he does SEO spring training and so on. Randy Rohde, who is 38 Digital Market on what's the name of my business? Legiit. It's been that kind of day. And he does digital PR. He's got some cool stuff. Brock, who is Michael's partner, and he does some GMB stuff as well. James Slattery, who was on earlier, and I don't know if he still is, but he does some really diverse stuff, some really cool client getting techniques, and some really interesting angles on things. Robbie, who has a really cool pic. I really need to get a tuxedo picture. Him and Andrew really class up this thing. But anyway, who does a lot with GMB, but also with AI. He does some stuff, cool stuff with AI that he's going to talk about. We have Kira Korishlova, whose last name I think I got right. She was on a while ago, and I was blown away by her presentation on international SEO. She was actually got several requests to have her speak shortly after that. So, and then we got Brian Cato, who was on as well. He does a lot with automation and tools and so on. So he was a very highly requested guest as well. And then I got one or two more people we're going to be adding in the very, very near future. So that's an action-packed lineup. And that's just the speakers. There will be tons and tons of people in the crowd. That's, like I said, that's really where the value comes from, is meeting the different people there. I've met people, I met several people on this list, including Eldar at different events that I've been at Terry as well. I mean, Terry, I knew a little bit through Facebook, but I didn't really get to know him until I met him in person. So it just shows the opportunity that these kinds of events have. Now, I hate doing hard sells like this, but this is just worth it. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's something we debated. I put off for a long time. I've been asked for years to have an event, and I didn't want to do it, but after the last one I was at, SEO at the Beach, I decided it was time, and I really want to do a good job for you guys. So I hope that you will see that and come check it out. Jim, did you want to add to
that? Nothing in particular. I mean, I think you did a pretty good job covering the bases there. But I will definitely co-sign the idea of making a weekend or a week out of it. There's a lot to do there in Myrtle Beach, whether it's the beach itself or golfing, mini golfing, tons of really good restaurants. So there's a lot, and plus it's a business write-off. So you don't necessarily have to pay for it. But yeah, definitely make plans to be there. It's the type of event that we are really enjoying putting together, because it's not a thing we're doing for profit. Like, we're doing this because we want to provide value. So when we do hard sell you on this, it's because we know that you're gonna get a lot out of it, not just you'll pay some money and get pitched to, because no one likes that. I know you've been to, and I've been to some events where you basically pay to get sold to, and that sucks. And that's not what we're doing here. So I want to make sure that you understand the intentionality and the value that we're putting into this, and how much time and energy we're putting into making sure that you get the most out of this, not just you're sold to for 2 days and then we never talk about it again.
Yeah. In fact, not only are we not going to sell you something, we're going to give you something for free that other people, I can't believe we didn't even think about it until now, but we're going to give you something for free that nobody else is going to get access to until much later. And I can't really give much away, but we're integrating a new technology into the platform that isn't done anywhere else, and will make both freelancers, but particularly customers' lives so much easier and make it my vision of having Legiit be a B2B growth engine that can really amplify anyone's business really like come true and become so much easier than it even already is. And we're going to be unveiling that at Legiit Live, and it will be everybody that's there will get access to it before anybody else. So, and it won't cost anything. So, I don't know what else to say about that. I really think that that's like that alone is worth the price of admission. Like Myrtle Beach is a pretty cheap place to stay, and the event is pretty cheap. So I think you can definitely ROI just off of that, even if you don't get anything out of it. Not that you wouldn't, but even if you don't get anything out of the content or whatever. So that's I don't know what else to say. The address is legitlive.com. It's a very straightforward checkout process. And by the way, these prices, this is not going to last forever. I think we'll have these two through sometime in July, and then we're going to have to increase the price as we start to sell out of tickets to make sure that we can sustain it and all of that. So, what time are we starting on the 13th? I want to book my room. I would plan on being there in the morning if you can. But I wouldn't imagine we'd do anything before the afternoon. Would you agree with that?
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't have a specific time yet. We're still working out details on that. But I would just, if you were there in the morning or early afternoon, you should be fine, Blair. And if you have any questions, you can just like DM me or message me or whatever, or you can message Legiit to support, and they'll connect you to me to answer them as well. So.
Yeah, we'll be also posting a actual like hour by hour agenda on the site as well. In the next couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into planning events and Terry, I'm sure you can't relate to this at all, but there's a lot that goes into planning events that I wasn't anticipating, and so we're still working out a few of the minor details like that. But I'll let you know as soon as I know for sure. James Slattery SEO, there's your free plug, is one of our speakers, says is going to be amazing. I think so too. I'm very excited for it. Terry says looking forward to dropping nugs. I believe that means information, like nuggets. You know how my brain is, Jim. I don't necessarily make those connections sometimes.
Unless he meant like chicken nuggets, which I don't recommend dropping.
No. Although I kind of want some now. Aaron said, "What's up, Aaron?" Aaron says, "Hey, I hope that's code for I'll see you there." I think that's how I took that, right?
Yes.
All right. You got to get better when I serve those up to you. All right. So I mentioned the commercial that we just launched. Really, really proud of this, and I'm going to share it with you in case you didn't see it from the million billion times I shared it the last few days. But this is a commercial that Andrew and his agency, Monster Agency, put together for us. And we're really proud of it. I'm going to put the link to it in the chat, but I'm going to play it for you. Hopefully you can hear it okay. If not, then just come watch it on Facebook. But here we go. It's short, so check it out. All right. So hopefully you were able to hear that okay, but that was a lot of fun. I got to go be there for the shooting of it, and it's really impressive what goes into something like that. Like, for example, like the part where she says, "Mom, I thought you said you took finance in college," was in the morning, and then the thing where her mom responds, "I took all the finance they would give me," was like 6 hours later. So it's just amazing to me that it's like how they do that. So I don't know. I thought it was really funny. If you could share it or comment on it, that would be great. But yeah, I think that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work to get done, but well worth it. Do you have anything to add on to that?
No, no, I think that was good. I definitely recommend giving it a watch and a share. The more people we can get the word out to, definitely helps. It helps all of us. So we definitely appreciate your support in that.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show that off one more time because I think it's hilarious. So, all right. I think we need to add that the unveiling thing somewhere on here as well, huh?
We do. I want to go back real quick to the early bird pricing, just to set a time frame on that, because those are not going to last forever. As is even the regular pricing beyond that, because we do have to plan the event, and there is going to be a timeline to when tickets are available up until. So just want to make sure that you guys know this is not like marketing ploy where there's early bird pricing forever. We legitimately do have an actual deadline for this, and we will probably add a clock because people like clocks, just so you know exactly how much time you have. But we are not going to run that forever. So if you do want to lock in your early bird pricing, I would recommend doing it soon because those prices are going to go up, basically basically double. So don't miss out.
Couldn't have said it better myself, which is why I didn't. Uh, so let me put that on the screen one more time. That's legitlive.com. Just go there and check it out. If you have any questions, most of you are my friends, like in Facebook, so you can message me there, but you can also message Legit support and they'll connect you to me, or they'll just answer your question if it's an easy one. And we'll be happy to help you out. But if anybody has any questions on that or on the commercial or on anything, I'll be happy to take them now. And I'll leave that on the screen for a moment. And I want to go back to Anissa's question because I feel like I blew past that a little bit. I look forward to your thoughts on local SEO opportunities. How can freelancers outreach them via email or GVP contact numbers or any other way like LinkedIn? Jim, how do you get clients?
Um, we do a lot of word of mouth, which is good, but hard to scale. What I'd recommend looking at here is something like Legit Leads, because what you can do is kind of go in here and look to find your ideal customer, and then kind of reach out to them through there. So if you have not checked that out, I would highly recommend that as an option. We even use that in house still. We used it this morning to go in and get new leads and kind of get in touch with them. So if you haven't done that, I would highly recommend it.
Okay. Yeah. And the other thing, it's not really outreach or direct response, but the thing that always worked for me was just literally what I'm doing right now is just being omnipresent to where people are always seeing me and then can come to me. But for outreach, cold email always worked really well for me. If I were starting over again today, I would do that, and then I would do cold DM as well. Maybe LinkedIn, but also don't overlook Facebook. People have a hard time ignoring messenger messages, so don't be. That's not me saying spam them or be annoying. It's just that your chances of getting their eyes are very good. And as far as finding them, another thing to do is if just go look at the search results and see who sucks and like who you can legitimately help and say, I can help you. Here's how I help somebody just like you. Let me do it for you for a reasonable amount in exchange for being able to use you as a case study, something like that. So, and go watch Alex Hermosi too. He's great at inspiring you to find ways to do outreach. Like listen to his book and stuff. It's all free. So, hopefully that answered your question. And that's bring.
Yeah, I would definitely add on to that. When you do outreach, don't do some generic "Hey, bro" message,
Oh my
because
god.
that's going to do more harm than good. Like, take the extra 30 seconds to write out something that's actually genuine, and you will have a much higher success rate.
Yeah, exactly. it's a hard thing for me. It's a whole hard circle for me to square because like I know I tell people to do outreach and I've done outreach, but man, bad outreach pisses me off. Like it doesn't really piss me off. I shouldn't say that, but it gets so tiresome. I was talking about this last night with my friend Nico, how I got somebody that liked like 7 of my Instagram pictures and then DM'd me something like a response to one of my stories and was like, hey, it looks like you're doing well. I had something I really need to bring to your attention. I was like, come on. I know that you're about to try to sell me either video editing or lead gen. Like, it's so phony. And then another, and maybe I'm just showing my age here, but a lot of like dude bro type outreach people like to start with, yo, Chris. And like, I don't know why, but that rubs me the wrong way. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but I don't. If they had any chance of getting my business, that it went out the window with yo, Chris. So, my point is, you don't have to be stuffy professional. You can be somewhat casual, but don't be casual like you are with your bros. Like I've known Jim for like 8 years now, and we have a certain casualness to our conversation, but I wouldn't have started our conversation that way. If we did, we wouldn't be here right now.
Right.
So that was a 10-cent, or that was $1 answer to or what's the expression? That was more than you asked for. So hopefully that helped. If there's any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think we're going to wrap up at about quarter till. Do people say that? Quarter till? Did I say that right? No, quarter till.
You said it.
So,
here we go.
But otherwise, just check it out. Again, early bird pricing going to end very soon in July. The address is legitlive.com. It's going to take place in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The hotel is 6,000 North Ocean Boulevard. It's actually a short walk from where I live. If you follow me on Instagram, you've seen my story of it. And I think I'm going to actually try to go stay there one night just so I can kind of like take a tour of the inside, show you what a room looks like, that whole thing. But just click the link here that says book your room and and use the code LegitLive and they'll give you a special rate. The venue is going to be about 3 miles from there, or 3 minutes from there, I should say. It's Pine Lakes Country Club in that very building right there. It's really, really nice. It's really classy. It's a really cool location. I'm not going to swear to this, but I think that golf course dates back to the 1800s. So it was the very first golf course in Myrtle Beach. And that's why it says the address for it is Granddaddy Drive, because it's called the granddaddy of them all. That's like their slogan. So, little Myrtle Beach trivia for you there. But if you need to purchase it, you just come over here and go to purchase now. Let me do this. Do purchase now. Let's assume that you want the VIP package. Just click purchase now. Put in I really hate when it fills in my stuff like that. Fill in your information and put in your credit card. It's like any other page. And if you have any notes for us, you can put that there as well. And I don't know. I think that's going to about do it. Come check it out. I look forward to meeting all of you in person. I'm going to do my absolute best to make a great event for you and make it fun, make it informative. And I don't know. I think that's about it. It doesn't seem like there's any more questions. So I will give Jim one more chance to add anything he'd like to add, and then we're going to call it a day.
Yeah, I would just recommend hopping on that soon. Like I said before, we are going to be doing early bird pricing for a limited time. So not a marketing employee, Legit is for a limited time. We'll put a counter up on that so you guys can see how many more days you have left. But I would encourage not missing it because you want to be there. Insider info, because I'm the one who's working on it. The thing that we are working on, which we will be announcing / releasing at the event, is far and away the best and most exciting thing I've ever built ever. I am pumped to use it. I'm pumped to see you guys use it. It's hands down the coolest thing we've ever built. So not to give you too much FOMO, but I'd recommend being there to get it. You're going to want to have access to it once you see it. And if you're there, you'll have it. So we'll probably share a little bit more info on that, or tease here or there. But yeah, I'd highly recommend being there.
Shannon says she hopes to get there. Awesome. we look forward to seeing you. All right. I think that's going to do it. We will be back sometime next week. I don't know exactly when, but we will be back with, well, frankly, we're going to be back to try to sell it to you again. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you. I try to be transparent as possible, and that's the goal. But, we'll also be here to answer any other questions or give as much value as we possibly can, because I don't, like I say, I don't need the money from this. I'll probably at best break even. So this is me trying to give back, and I know that sounds cliche, but once I tell the story about the location there, you'll understand what I mean. But I want to provide something that will actually benefit people, because there's too much that doesn't. I've been fortunate enough to go and speak at some events that were also valuable, and I've been misfortunate enough to go to some as an attendee that sucked ass, to be perfectly honest. And frankly, the worst event I've been to was probably put on by the biggest name of the events that I've been to. Not the dunk on Ryan Dice, but his event was completely a webinar, but in person. And that's the last thing I want. So I want to make sure that I'm hammering this point because I want to make sure that that I want to do something for you that will actually help you and improve your life, because our goal is to grow businesses and to help every business succeed. So that's the goal of this event. So, all right, that's it. We'll see you next week. I don't have a schedule time yet, but I'll let you know as soon as I can. For everybody that's here, I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us today. I know we all have busy lives, and there's a lot of things you could do with your time. And you chose to spend 47 minutes of it here. So that's something I appreciate and will never take for granted. So thank you for that. And whatever you do, figure out what you want out of life and go out and get it, because you owe it to yourself and you owe it to the world. I'll see you next week, and I will see you in September. Peace.